Hey, hey, hey. Happy Monday. Come on in, pull up a chair. The Daily Dope is in the air. Howdy, 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 gang. Yes, I'm Jeff McAleer, back once again as your host here at The Daily Dope, presented by thegaminggang.com, which I happen to be the Grand Poobah. I am the founder and editor-in-chief of The Gaming Gang. So, welcome aboard. Tonight is Monday, September 14th, 2020. This is episode 541 of The Daily Dope. If this is your first time joining me, let me point out this is very, very casual. It is certainly not rocket surgery, just hanging around talking about the latest tabletop gaming news. So, talking about board games, card games, role playing games, miniatures, so on and so forth. But before I jump into all that, let me once again remind you, if you like this video, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you do subscribe, ring that notification bell because it will not only let you know when the Daily Dope is streaming live here on YouTube Monday through Thursday nights, but it'll also let you know when I upload other videos as well, such as my first look at the battles of Rhode Island and Newport from GMT Games. This is my latest, well, I guess I shouldn't say latest unboxing video because I just unveiled another one today. But this is one of my standalone videos, of course. And when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com. We are celebrating 10 years of bringing you the latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Of course, this is a live stream, so that also means that chat is available. It's not on screen. It's one of the ways I keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay, but I do my best to pay attention to chat. So if you want to say howdy, or maybe you got a question, comment, by all means, please chime in. I will do my best to respond. So we had a good chat rocking already. A grade A was first out the gate in chat. So a grade A is here. My buddy Scott Weagle is also hanging out. Flaming Huron, Kevin R. Smith, and William McGinnis round out the early adopters in chat, I guess we'll say. So hello, everybody. Good to see all of you tonight. Kicking off a brand new week. Got loads of tabletop gaming news. I've got some videos. I've got some new stuff that just arrived today, in fact. So I was going to show you some of the stuff that's popped in. I will have some new contests as well that are going to unveil October 1st. So I'm going to do a couple of contests for the month of October. I will talk about that a little bit as well. So first off, let's jump on into the news because, as I mentioned, I've got quite a bit of news tonight. First of all, returning to print next week from the City of Games, not a company I'm overly familiar with, but it's the Isle of Cats and its expansion, Late Arrivals. I've got the dope. The Isle of Cats is a competitive medium-weight card drafting polyomino cat placement board game for 1 to 4 players. 6 players with the expansion. You are citizens of Squall's End on a rescue mission to the Isle of Cats and must rescue as many cats as possible before the evil Lord Vesh arrives. Damn you, Lord Vesh! Each cat is represented by a unique tile and belongs to a family. You must find a way to make them all fit on your boat while keeping families together. You also need to manage resources as you explore the island by drafting cards, rescue cats, find treasures, befriend Oshoks. I guess maybe that's like the Lord of the Cats. Study ancient lessons as well. Each lesson you collect will give you another personal way of scoring points, and there are 38 unique lessons available. Complete lessons fill your boat and keep cat families together to score points. The winner will be the player with the most points after 5 rounds. Isle of Cats is for 1 to 4 players, ages 8 and up, plays in around 60 to 90 minutes, and will carry an MSRP of $50. The Isle of Cats Late Arrivals is an expansion for, you guessed it, the Isle of Cats. It adds new content as well as support for 2 additional players, and that will carry an MSRP of $25. I have got to say, this was a super, super popular Kickstarter out there, folks. And I do believe, I might be wrong. Like I said, I'm not necessarily very familiar with the company, which is, oh gosh, now I'm zoning out. It's City of Games, although their web address says the City of Kings, because that's one of their games, is the City of Kings. I think that was their first game, and they decided rather than go with their company name, I think they went with a game as far as their domain, and that's why it is the City of Kings as opposed to the City of Games. But I had heard good things about Isle of Cats. We have Josh W., who is hanging out in chat. Welcome aboard. They say that Isle of Cats is a really good game, one of their current favorites. Nice. So this was out of print. So this was a successful Kickstarter. It went to retail a little bit. And then this is the new print run with the expansion as well. So a Grade A says this looks similar to that Bear Zoo game. Baron Park is what I think you might be thinking of, a Grade A. That was from Mayfair Games. There you go, right? As soon as I say it, Grade A's typing it out. Nice. It's also very similar to some of those Stronghold game releases from, I think it's, if I remember correctly, it's Uwe Rosenberg. And he has like the spring, summer, winter games, and they all have that sort of tile laying, almost like a Tetris style to them as well. So the Madman has joined us in chat. Good to see you, Madman. All right, let's move on to our next news piece, because there's another release hitting stores next week, and it's called Bees from Next Move Games. I've got the dope. Bees invites players to take flight as a bee off to collect nectar for the hive. Beware, players will compete with each other over precious nectar to achieve public and secret goals. Get your brain buzzing over the next great abstract game. The game has a unique movement mechanism that brings a new game feeling to the players. The several objective cards add variety to the game because the players have to develop a different strategy depending on their objectives. Every move consists of 3 phases. 1. Flight planning. In this phase, you plan how far and in which direction your collector bee will fly. The beehive helps with the possible flight direction and flight distance. 2. Fly and collect nectar drops. The collector bee flies in the planned direction. If she lands on a flower, she can collect an adjacent nectar drop. If she lands on a drop of water, she can fly again. And 3. Make honey. The nectar drops can be stored in the honeycomb according to the flight distance. A drop must be placed adjacent to a placed drop. If the nectar drop cannot be stored, it stays in the garden. Game ends if a player has 12 nectar drops in their honeycomb. Fill your honeycomb with nectar in different colors. Place the nectar optimally to fulfill multiple objective cards in different ways and thus get the most honey at the end of the game. Bees is for 2 to 4 players, ages 8 and up, plays in around 30 to 45 minutes. Will carry an MSRP of $39.99 when it arrives next week. I do kind of like these oddball looking little bee tokens there. So Kevin Smith says it's kind of weird that Bees calls itself an abstract game when it has some pretty specific flavor text. So a Grade A says abstract means you don't have to worry about the rules making sense. I got to be honest, I wouldn't think that this would be considered an abstract game either because it actually has a pretty concrete theme that you are leading a collector bee to get nectar in order to make honey for your hive. It's usually not abstract. Abstract is usually stuff like I'm putting colors together for what could possibly be a stained glass window. So that's usually what we mean by abstract. I don't know. I got to point out, I don't think Next Move Games is out of the US. So this translation might not, I don't know. But then again, the information is from Next Move Games. All right. Moving right along. There is a deluxe third edition of the 18th and 19th century naval war game Flying Colors, available from GMT Games. Here's the dope. Flying Colors recreates naval actions during the height of the Age of Sail, from small engagements to full battles involving dozens of ships in each fleet. Play is fast, furious, and does not require the pre-plotted movement found in many other naval games. Instead, a simple initiative and command system allows players to activate and maneuver their fleets in a realistic manner, indicating how older commanders adhered to rules of engagement where more forward-thinking commanders, like Nelson, could retain control of their fleets after the first broadsides began to be exchanged. Rather than focusing on the abilities of individual ships, Flying Colors uses broad classes of vessel within each race and concentrates the players' minds on maintaining command of their fleets using a simple command system. This is not a strategic level game where one piece represents several ships. Flying Colors includes 300 individually named ships rated for size, gunnery, boarding ability, and damage capacity. Also included are nearly 4 dozen individually named commanders rated for their ability to control their formations, as well as the impact of their presence within the fleet. The game system provides what naval enthusiasts will expect in a tactical Age of Sail game: broadsides, rakes, anchoring, wind effects, weather, shore batteries, and much more. All of this is packed into a short, accessible rulebook. Included within the game are 17 historical scenarios, ranging from the Battle of Minorca, 1756, during the Seven Years' War, to the Battle of the Capes during the American Revolution, and on through the Battle of Trafalgar, 1805, during the Napoleonic Wars. The battles range in size from small engagements playable on a single map through huge engagements like the glorious 1st of June, playable on 3 maps. Players are also free to create their own variants and what-if scenarios using point values for each ship. Most scenarios can be played within a few hours, and 2 players can complete even the largest within a day. Several are also well suited to solitaire play. Flying Colors is for 1 to 4 players, ages 14 and up, plays in 2 or more hours, obviously enough, depending on the scenario. Does carry an MSRP of $75. As mentioned, this is the Deluxe 3rd edition. It has just come out from GMT Games. So I'm trying to remember. Off the top of my head, I can't remember if I've played Flying Colors or not. If I've reviewed it, I don't know. I don't remember. I know I did review Blackbeard, which was the pirate game. I don't know. Off the top of my head, there's so many games, so many reviews. It's kind of like, have I played this? But it is not a. See, the reason why I'm sitting there going, have I played this, is because the counters look really familiar. So I don't know. I have no idea. All right. So Melwinius from York has popped into chat. He's curious if anybody has heard yay or nay for Aliens Bug Hunt from Upper Deck. So don't know. I just shared a news piece. That's all I can tell you. And all they were sharing is like one image of the box. So I don't know. I have no clue. All right, on to our next news piece, because this weekend is going to see the Dungeons and Dragons Celebration 2020 From Wizards of the Coast, I've got the dope. Join D&D Celebration 2020 from home. D&D Celebration 2020 allows anyone to take part in the event from their own home. Gather your party, go online, and join us for a weekend of play, panels, and celebration. Register for games through the D&D Celebration event portal. Once registered, you'll be able to sign up for D&D Adventurers League game sessions, including 2-hour adventures perfect for levels 1 through 4, and an amazing new D&D epic! Exclamation point. I don't know what it would be. Dungeon Masters are provided. All Wizards of the Coast proceeds from ticket sales support Extra Life and the Children's Miracle Network hospitals. So there is a schedule of featured events and panels that you can check out without any registration as well. Do want to mention that Wizards of the Coast has partnered with Extra Life to create special apparel, all with Wizards of the Coast proceeds going directly to Extra Life and the Children's Miracle Network hospitals. Additionally, all ticket sales from the D&D Celebration event portal will also be donated to the cause. Through Extra Life, we're endeavoring to raise funds, have fun, and help heal kids at local Children's Miracle Network hospitals. Since its inception in 2008, Extra Life has raised over $70 million for sick and injured kids. Right now, children's hospitals need your support. Be a hero. Take part today and help raise funds for the Children's Hospital's COVID-19 Impact Fund. The D&D Celebration 2020, or 2020 as they like to say, takes place September 18th through the 20th. You will notice that we've got the Extra Life D&D, which is showing right now. That is from Rime of the Frost Maiden. And this is the t-shirt design that is out there. I believe you only have a few hours left to be able to get that t-shirt. It is $25 for the t-shirt, and definitely check that out. I did tweet out the link to the t-shirt. So if you follow me on Twitter, you can check that out as well, because it really does look like a pretty cool t-shirt. And once again, that is something from Rime of the Frost Maiden. So there we have it. So the Madman says, just noticed before the show started that GMT is additional content for Tank Duel. What are they showing, Madman? I have not taken a peek if it's a new expansion coming out, because I know they were talking about more Tank Duel expansions. So yes, a great A. You are correct. Those are kobolds in a coat. Yes, as if they're trying to pawn themselves off as humans, maybe, or humanoid. I could cheat and show you the art from the book. So this could be fun. If you got nothing cooking for the weekend, hang out. They've got, of course, they're going to have all the different live events with some of the celebs and things like that. But they also do have the ability for you to be able to play in some games remotely. That does require a purchase, does require a ticket. I have not actually looked into how much the tickets are, but kind of cool, kind of cool. So the Madman says an additional tank pack and Africa expansion. Sweet. So Kevin says 3 goblins in a trench coat keeps getting references all over the place. I don't know why. If they're making reference to that, it's not based on Rime of the Frost Maiden, because if you folks remember, I am giving away my copy of the alternate art cover. All right, real quick. Let me find the artwork. I remember it's fairly early in the book. All right, come on. Where are you at there? Nothing like, nothing like, just dead quiet. Nothing like dead air. All right, come on. For crying out loud. See, if I wasn't looking for it, I'd open the book up and it would fall right to that page. But because I am looking for it, it's of course not it's no longer in the book because I am looking for it. It's no longer in the book anymore. All right, I think we're all well, is that it? No, that's not it. Zoobity-ba-doo-ba-doo. All right, come on. So here's hoping everybody had a great weekend. As I take it through here. Uh you know what? If I don't see it where I'm looking for here, it might actually be in the bestiary. That might have been where the image was. I could have swore it's close up here. Ay, 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 ay. It's kind of funny because some of these pages, because I actually haven't paged through this copy, right? I did the standard. All right, it must be back here. All right, hold on a minute, Babalooey. Because they're like frost cobalts. Here we go. All right. Okay. So it'd only take me like 5 minutes to do that. Oh, see now, look, Grady's like Jeff. It's a stat block. Yeah. So here we go. I don't know if you can really how well you can see it, but it's 3 kobolds in a winter coat, and they're trying to pass themselves off as somebody in like a person in the trench coat. And don't forget, if you haven't checked out the review for Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frost Maiden, by all means do so. You can find out how you can win this copy that I'm giving away. In fact, 2 weeks from today is when I'll announce the winner. All right, so Kevin Smith says they didn't watch the Frost Maiden review all the way because they suspect that somebody in their group might want to run it at some point. I completely understand. Completely understand that. I got to be honest before I jump back to the news. I love how, and I've been deleting comments because, to be honest, I don't have time to argue with ignorant people or people who are just complete dumbasses. But it drives me nuts when people try to put words in your mouth that did not come out of your mouth. So I'm like, oh, for crying out loud. Just because I said I didn't like the fact that there's supposed to only be 4 hours of twilight per day and everything else is darkness outside of maybe if the moon is out or if the aurora borealis that the Frost Maiden creates when she flies across the sky in on her rock, I should say. Just because I said I didn't care for it only having 4 hours, did not say that way up north during the winter, there are places that don't have 4 hours of light every day. I never said that. And all these idiots are like, hey, what are you, a moron? It's like, yeah, I lived in Alaska and there's like, and I'm like, I never said that there aren't places on this planet that have 4 hours of twilight during the winter. Some places have almost none. I never said that. I just said I would personally change it in my game because what are the players going to, accomplish in 4 hours of hazy light every day? I don't want to sit there and have to screw around with all this. Well, it's complete darkness now and everybody's got their torches, but it's a howling wind. So much for the torches. I just don't want to get into all that nonsense. But I love people who they want to put words in your mouth. And it's like, I didn't say that doesn't happen. It's like, what are you people effing idiots? It's like, come on. So I have been deleting those kind of comments because, like I said, I don't need that. All right. So Melwinia said that they watched the review. Book is well made. Not sure though. So Kevin said, hey, sorry about derailing everything. No, big deal. We're zipping through the news pretty quickly. So, speaking of that, let's go back to the news because there is a new Rules Light role playing game. It's arrived from Strange Machine Games, and I've got the dope on Charm. Imagine a role playing game where you can sit down at any time with anyone and just play. You pull a character sheet out of your wallet using a rolling app on your phone and get to it. Rolling app? Wouldn't you just say dice app? Everyone already knows all the rules, and those that don't learn them immediately. Charm is a universal tabletop role playing game that uses a simple yet versatile rule set. The rules can be learned in minutes and offer a fully immersive game experience. A character can fit on a sheet as small as a business card. Charm uses our intuition about a scenario to help drive the game with a focus on role playing. The game allows characters to be built so that they are good at what they do. This allows each player to have a unique experience and have confidence when making decisions. Charm includes 7 short scenarios that demonstrate how to modify the existing simple rule set to create a new play experience. There's Action 5 News. You are the city's most elite local news team. It isn't easy staying on top. You'll need to pull together all your guile and charisma to keep the #1 spot. Stay classy, San Diego. Temporal Raiders. Travel time seeking the ultimate heist. Ally with powerful historical figures. Change history. Be your own grandfather. What could go wrong? There's Dustbound. Take on the role of a god-touched gunslinger in a bleak world of dust and decay. Fight Oni, rival gunslingers and vengeful townsfolk. There's Mystery Incorporated. Jeepers, guys. Play as a gang of kids or possibly a lovable pet who solve mysteries using their astonishing meddling abilities. That sounds familiar. Pact of Night. Small town woes meet big monster drama. Play a vampire or werewolf as you balance your life with the humans during the day and beasts at night. Onitech. You exist in a high-tech world ruled by demon masters. Civility has superseded morality, leading to a perverted and deadly state of affairs. There's also Asylum Reflections. In Victorian London, people are being replaced with mirrored doubles. Uncover the duplicitous. I was like, what the hell? Geez, Jeff can't even read tonight. Uncover the duplicitous mystery in this dark world. Charm includes 157 pages, amazing, striking art. I don't know. I'm sharing some of this art. I wouldn't call it amazing or striking outside of maybe the cover. I don't know if I would like be using the artwork as a selling point. You can learn to play in minutes and includes these 7 previously talked about scenarios and includes dynamic play choices. This 157-page PDF is available for $10 at Drive-Thru RPG. So if you are looking for a very rules light role-playing game that the focus is on the role-playing as opposed to making rolls, I would say take a peek. This might be interesting, might be worth taking a look at. So we also have Philadelphia Piper has joined us in chat. Welcome aboard. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. So just taking a peek here. So still discussion about the kobolds or other creatures in the coat. All right, so the whole top billing for 90 seconds of screen time is hilarious for John Cleese in Robin Hood. Men in Tights. It took me a second to remember what the tagline for it. All right, our final news piece. Wonderland Imprints and author Kent David Kelly have released a new Old Skull supplement. Yes, that's right, a new Old Skull supplement for OSR D&D role-playing. Here's a dope on Mythic World of Old Skull Warriors. Wonderland Imprints is proud to present the first volume in the Mythic World of Old Skull series, providing the advanced modular rules developed for author Kent David Kelly's epic campaign adventure game. These volumes are designed to integrate perfectly with one another if you collect them all, or to stand alone if you prefer to pick and choose aspects from the Old Skull campaign that you're personally intrigued by. If you're looking for universal and directly compatible old school materials to bridge the original game editions created by Arneson and Gygax, Holmes, Moldvay and Cook, Menser, and other luminaries of TSR into a single refined system, you've come to the right place. This detailed volume features the fully refined and corrected classes of the warrior archetype, the doughty fighter, with clarified rules for weapon specialization, the revised Old Skull barbarian, the intrepid hunter, the deadly ranger of Queen's Cambria. All classes have been fully integrated with world mythology, folklore, weird fiction, and detailed campaign notes from the author's campaign that will bring your warrior characters alive in the world of Old Skull. All of the classes and rules have been reimagined and updated throughout with extensive sagely advice, along with out-of-print magazine and newzine errata, supplemented by notes and musings derived from E. Gary Gygax in accordance with his vision for his never-attained advanced D&D 2nd edition. 20 of the new elements and systems you'll find herein include extensive themes and evocative level titles for all classes, social standing guidelines by level, freehold guidelines for fighter lords, fighter command ranks, fighter morale and loyalty effects on soldiers, corrected and more intuitive weapons specialization, jumping rules, non-thief climbing rules, rebalanced barbarian role-playing guidelines, 11 iconic Old Skull barbarian tribes, the Amazons, Cimmerians, Stygians, full barbarian skills based on Gygax hunter notes, snare setting rules, wound binding rules, full hunter skills, beast mastery rules, spirit hounds for high-level hunters, free from problematic IP background lore for the Ranger class. That's funny. Free from problematic IP background. Fully corrected and justified Ranger spell casting rules for druidic and magical powers. Corrected tracking rules following from the unearthed paradigm. And rebalanced and fairer thematic disadvantages for the Ranger class. This 141-page PDF is available at DriveThruRPG for $4.99. So I'm kind of curious. So I think Old Skull and Castle Old Skull are the same, but some of their products are from different publishers. I think. I'm not positive. But I got to admit, this does sound pretty interesting as far as if you run old school role-playing games, maybe you're still a big fan of OD&D or D&D or AD&D. This might be worth a look. Hey, this might be worth a look even if you're playing 5th edition. So it could be kind of interesting. Nice. All right. So Grade A says the 5e Scarlet Citadel went up on Kickstarter today. I saw it. They actually shot me a news piece, but it came late. So I will talk about that tomorrow. We will kind of dive into that. So King of the Ones, welcome aboard. Thanks for joining me in chat and the rest of the gang. Do we need rules to set snares? I don't know. I know I definitely don't. That's why I used to sit there all the time joking about the grappling rules. And why do we need 5 different sets of rules as far as unarmed combat? Anyway, those last 2 items are available at DriveThruRPG. As I always like to point out, the Gaming Gang and thus the Daily Dope are affiliated with the One Bookshelf sites. So if you are going to swing over to, say, DriveThruRPG, please stop by thegaminggang.com first, click on one of our banner ads, and that way, if you do happen to make a purchase, a little portion of that sale, and all those little portions really add up, and they do help keep the Gaming Gang website around. So Kevin R. Smith says, I'm on the fence about backing the Citadel myself. I'm tempted to go with the all digital level, just in case I'll have something I can run if in-person gaming doesn't resume for months. Yeah, so it is Steve Winter and Wolfgang Bauer. Just my personal opinion, right? Just like I said, my personal opinion. Opinion, Jeff's only. Don't anybody out there get upset. I find Wolfgang Bauer to be very hit or miss. Sometimes, I mean, some of the older D&D. I need a sip. I was going to say some of the older AD&D stuff. I was just trying to say it all as one word, right? Was pretty good. There was some pretty good stuff that Bauer did. Some of his Dungeon Magazine adventures weren't all that great. But then, like I said, he seems to be very hit or miss. So I don't know. I have no idea. I have not really taken a deep dive into that Kickstarter yet. So, but it could be very cool. Could be very, very cool, especially if they have something that's all digital. If you can just get the PDFs without getting the books. So Flaming Heron says, I don't know if you mentioned it, Jeff, but notice the other day there's an OSR bundle for Frog God Games on Humble Bundle. I was not aware of that. I will be happy to put a news piece together for that. Frog God Games. Now, here's an odd thing too, because I hear from a lot of people who now like Swords and Wizardry. I think is great. I think it's excellent. You can get the PDF absolutely free, and it's a really good set of OSR rules. Really, really dig it. That said, I have had a lot of people tell me that the Frog God Games adventures just don't seem to be edited or developed well. So, once again, I don't know, because really the only thing I've reviewed from Frog God Games is we did City of Brass, which is a setting book, but that's been out for quite a while, and the Swords and Wizardry rules. So, don't know. But looks like there's a bunch of OSR stuff. So cool, pretty cool. I will take a peek. I'll take a peek. Just like there's a brand new bundle of holding as well for Fudge, which is the picture of fate. So there's a it's not a big bundle of holding, but there is a bundle of holding for that. I will probably share that news as well tomorrow. So as I mentioned, yesterday I uploaded my unboxing video for the Battles of Rhode Island and Newport. This is the 9th volume of the Battles of the American Revolution series from GMT Games. So if you are interested what's in this box, check it out. I was impressed. There's a mounted board as well as a paper board, because I know there are people out there who really do like the paper boards. I happen to be a fan of mounted boards, but then again, I don't live in an area where I have problems with the mounted boards warping. I know there are people out there who have that problem. So today, Versailles 1919 showed up from GMT Games. I already cracked this open and shot my unboxing video. It is up. So if you want to check this out, this is designed by Mark Herman and Jeff Engelstein. Is it Engelstein or Engelstein? I thought it's Steen. So that's what I went with. Hopefully I'm right. Anyway, this is not a war game. This is a political game. Looks very interesting. There's a lot cooking in here, and it looks like there's a little bit of a Euro flavor to the game as well. So you figure Mark Herman and Jeff Engelstein, that's kind of an interesting mix, right? So also arriving today from AEG was Calico, the cat game where you're creating, if I remember correctly, you're creating quilts and you're trying to put together unique color schemes that will attract the cats to come lay on the quilts. I have to say, the cover artwork is kind of cute with a little sleeping cat. Also today, it's not up yet. It will go up tomorrow. I did my review for Carnival of Monsters, which is from Amigo. It is designed by Richard Garfield. So there we have it. So Scott Weigel says Versailles 1919 is diplomacy on steroids. I don't know. I would take a guess, even though the complexity level doesn't show it being real high. It's a 6 out of 9, so it's like high medium. Taking a peek at the rules, I would take a guess it's probably easier to wrap your head around than diplomacy, because the diplomacy rules are very easy. It's all these weird little tiny sort of once every 20 games this will come up that people there are no rules really to cover it, so it's pretty ambiguous. But even the updated diplomacy rules are fairly long, and they have tons and tons of examples in it, and still there are things that will come up in diplomacy where it's like there's no answer for it. And I think that's what causes some of the ill will that you hear about in diplomacy games. I've never had any big deal with it. It's a game. It's a game of a little bit of screw your neighbor from time to time. I expect that to happen, so I don't get upset. And somebody's like, "What would you didn't back me up. You said you would back me up. You didn't." I don't freak out about that. Philadelphia Piper says they started their D&D career with AD&D. So did I. So King of the One says, I saturated on the red box. Wish that they still had their old books. Yes, we all do. As my pal Scott Weigel, who's hanging out in chat, can attest, we had tons and tons of gaming releases and role-playing games and Avalon Hill and SSI and all these other SPI, I should say, not SSI. Although we had a lot of SSI computer games too. So, yeah, I wish I had a bunch of those still. Oh, well. All right, so that is what's cooking as far as what's on the horizon. I've got some other reviews that'll be popping up later on this week as well. I also mentioned there is a huge shipment of Paizo stuff, Pathfinder and Starfinder stuff that's supposedly in transit. There are some other items that are supposed to be on the way as well. So should have lots and lots of stuff to keep us busy this fall. All right. That is it for this time out. I was taking a peek. Flaming Heron says, in my case, most people are too generous with me by default, underestimating my ability in games. I try not to, well, like if I'm playing my nephew Cameron and his girlfriend, yes, I figure they're not usually going to give me a really phenomenal challenge. They're better than you would probably expect. But yeah, it's usually Elliot Miller is the one who gives me the run for the money playing games. Every once in a while, my brother will play something too, and he's not too bad. All right, so that is it for tonight's news and tonight's show. So as I like to remind you, if you like this video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, ring the notification bell, because not only will it let you know when the Daily Dope streams live Monday through Thursdays right here on YouTube, it'll also inform you when I upload other videos, such as my unboxing of Versailles 1919. And of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com, where we're celebrating 10 years of bringing you the latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. If you hung out and joined me in chat, thank you very much. We had a few people who this is their first time popping in to join us. Hopefully we've made you feel welcome and you come back. And again, I don't know. I could be irritating. I know that. Anyway, so if you watch live, thank you very much. If you watch after the fact, I know there are a lot of people out there that don't have an opportunity to watch the Daily Dope as it streams. Hey, whenever you watch it, even if you're watching it on Memorex, I certainly appreciate you taking the time out to watch. I will be back tomorrow. So everybody enjoy the rest of your Monday night / Tuesday morning. And of course, as I've been signing off on all my videos during this pandemic, unfortunately, here's hoping that you be smart and stay safe. See you tomorrow. Oh, you're still here. Well, if that's the case, let me point out that the things I'm going to be pointing at, if you are just watching the Daily Dope stream, you may not see what I'm pointing at. Usually it will take about 12 hours once the stream is finished for YouTube to allow me to add my end screen. But if you're watching one of my other videos, such as my reviews or interviews, first looks, pastures, what have you, well, then by all means, click right here and you can subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel. If you click right up here, you'll find the latest episode of my live stream, The Daily Dope. And if you click over here, that's going to show you something that YouTube thinks you might like. Regardless, once again, I'm Jeff McAleer, and thank you very much for watching.